Blame It on Vanity by Denise Matthews, formerly known as Vanity, Chapter 9, Jesus Loves Me, Yes I Know. Most children want a bike for their birthdays, but I wanted the Holy Bible, the one with the little black and red letters inside. That was a book with all the answers to all my important questions. Father sent us off to church on Sundays, but never attended himself. We'd sit in a big circle with all the children and listen to the Sunday school teacher teach us all about the miracles Jesus performed. It was in between that very book that I found a ray of hope that promised to someday free us from all this misery, and the next few pages will help you understand why. When they described in detail how Jesus was crucified, I cried my little heart out. I felt he knew what I was going through, and I needed to hear that somebody really loved me, so the song Jesus Loves the Little Children became my favorite love song. I would tuck my Bible under my arm and carry it with all the rest of my books to school. I was in love with him, and no one could take him away from me. My sisters called me a little preacher because I'd bang on their doors and quote scriptures about how Jesus is going to save us. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life, came spilling from my mouth at any given moment. At night I hid away under the covers, dissecting the scriptures, looking to see how Jesus was going to rescue us and what he would do to my parents for abusing us. All my darkest secrets were lifted up to him, and I was sure all my sorrow touched his throne. I knew his ears heard my loudest scream, and his eyes touched my deepest wounds. I made Jesus my Father, and I was going to follow him all the way to heaven's door. I love you, Denise, Jesus whispered. I was sure I heard him. Did God make a people that really loved children like me, or a mother that would never give her babies away? I pressed my face up against the bus window and blew out a steamy breath of frosty cold air. I scribbled my name out hard and thought, one day I will run so far from this place and no one will ever find me. No matter, this dirty old window stole away all my dreamy thoughts of escape. I opened up my school book and dug my face into a page and read a little. Last stop, shouted the bus driver. Inasmuch as it would have pleased me to not see him standing at the end of the road in the distance, my eyes did not deceive me. I tried to remember if I had done anything wrong. Did I finish the dishes this morning? Did I have holes in my socks? And did I remember to take the garbage out? What did we do wrong? It could be anything. His eyes were getting closer, and his stance was nothing of tender but threatening, waiting, watching with his cold, calculated stare. Our feet moved forward, step by slow step, as if we were on a ship's plank, dawdling and sullen, which only made him angrier for the weight. We all huddled around to stare at the bottom of his feet with our shoulders drooped and heads bowed, pleading and begging him not to hurt us. Even the smallest of things could trigger his temper into hysteria. We trembled with fear, with nowhere to go, and there seemed to be no getting used to this slow torment. I loathed my little life. Please don't beat us, Daddy, Patty uttered under her breath. Whatever we did, we promised not to do it again. Nothing ever softened that black heart or that cold stare of his. Daddy seemed to be kinder to his dog. He ripped his leather belt from out of the loops around his waist, and this practice was eagerly and earnestly made perfect. He then wrapped it around his fist and lifted his arm up high and came down swiftly, wildly, whipping everything in sight. The beatings lasted too long. They were hard, severe, and too often.